Okay, so I'm going to kick off. Hi everyone, thank you for joining. A big hello and welcome from Manchester. Today's event is all about the voice of our students. So we believe that by hearing directly from students who are currently studying or who have studied with the University of Manchester really helps prospective students with their decision making when it comes to postgraduate study. It's a huge decision to make. It requires a lot of commitment, both financially and when it comes to your time. So you need to be sure that you're making the right choice. I know that all of you listening today are interested in pursuing a master's in international fashion marketing. So therefore, I really hope that you find the conversation today insightful and you leave here with a better understanding of what studying at the University of Manchester is really like. So I'm joined by a fantastic panel and we'll go through some introductions very soon. But just to kind of kick off, my name is Daisy James. I am one of the course advisors here at the University of Manchester. I've been with the university a pretty long time and I support students through their kind of decision-making journey really when it comes to postgraduate study. I'm also joined by a colleague of mine, Hazel. So I'd love it if you could kind of introduce yourself today, Hazel.
Yep. Hello, everyone. My name is Hazel Craven, and as Daisy just said, I am also one of the course advisors here at the University of Manchester. So like Daisy, my role here is to help answer your questions about the course, if you've got any, to help guide you through any application process, guide you through the decision-making process about whether this course is right for you, and applying for it and being successful in your application.
Thanks, Hazel. Amy, I'll come to you next. Can you kind of provide our audience a bit of an introduction into who you are, so your academic and professional background, where you're based in the world, and all of that kind of good stuff, please?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy, and now I'm living in Hangzhou, China. And now I'm work for Alibaba Group, and I'm a category manager for fashion. And I have been studying in Manchester many years ago, and my course is International Fashion Retailing. It's a very glad chance to me here today to have a little chat to everyone to introduce what I learned from this course and what I want to share with everyone.
Thank you, Amy. It's great to have you here. Bruno, last but not least, I'll come to you. If you could just say hello and introduce yourself, that would be great.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bruno Mandolini. First of all, for me, it's a pleasure to be here with you. And I am currently finishing the first semester in International Fashion Marketing at the University of Manchester. And before I did a bachelor in applied languages in Zurich. And I live in Switzerland in a town called Lugano in the Italian part of the country. And I work in a bank in the marketing department.
Okay, so thank you both Amy and Bruno for your introductions just then. So I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, why did you choose to study at the University of Manchester? So Amy, if we could go to you first, please.
Okay, it's a good question, and it's an interesting question for me because I need to remember a little in my memory past and to find why. I think when I was applied for the fashion courses, it's because I have the great passion in this field. But I applied for a lot of schools in UK and the US. So finally, I choose between two very famous schools. One is New York University, and the other one is the University of Manchester. I think the final reason why I choose Manchester is the course setting. It's really because I found it's very interesting because not so many fashion colleges or university offer a combination of the course setting. You will both learn about very mentioned courses about fabric. That is the advantage of the University of Manchester because this course is from the material school. And the other part is you will have a very big picture of the whole fashion business course about the strategy, about supply and the demand chain. That is quite attractive to me because I want to learn the combination of the both sides. So I think that is why I finally choose the University of Manchester.
Thank you, Amy. And Bruno, what made you choose to study at the University of Manchester?
Well, I would like to change my professional life, and so I decided to do a master because I've already tried to get in the field of fashion, but it's difficult without having a degree in that sector. And I have always had a strong creativity and a great passion for the world of fashion. And then I looked for a course that also gave me the opportunity to go on working, because that's for me a really important thing, to continue working. And the master from the University of Manchester gave me this possibility to do it online. And I also appreciated the content of the course. It's interesting, and also the reputation of the university, and the possibility again of being able to do it online. For me, it was really an important thing, and that's the reason why I decided to apply for it.
That's absolutely great. Thank you both. So my next question, you've both touched on this a little bit already, but is there anything in particular that made the international fashion marketing for you, Bruno, and the international fashion retailing for you, Amy, stand out from the other courses that you looked at? If we could start with you, Bruno.
Yeah. Well, I will be a bit repetitive, but precisely the fact of being able to do it online and thus continue working. Its content again, and the type of diploma, and the recognition of the university in the world. That's also something I really appreciated. And as well as the possibility to get in touch with students from all over the world. That's also a great, that's really important and really interesting to get in touch with other realities.
That's great. Thank you, Bruno. And Amy, was there anything that you wanted to add about what made the course stand out for you?
Okay, so I think there is a lot of similar points, and I so agree with Bruno, because maybe I don't know what is about the talent market in other countries in the world, but in China, the competition is so big, and there are so many great people and great talents in this market. So I want to say one point is very significant, because the University of Manchester is a comprehensive school, and the course setting is more professional. And in the talent market, you have maybe you got a very strong convincing reason to everyone to show how professional you are when you already learned that course. That is very important in your career life, because your classmates from all over the world and the university have a quite good name and fame all over the world. That is important.
Thanks, Amy. And Bruno, so you are working full time, of course, and you work in the marketing department at a bank over in Switzerland. My question to you, or I've got two questions really. How did you find adapting to working full time and studying part time, and how have you found kind of online learning alongside working?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a quite good question. this, I have to say, was the hardest thing. And sometimes, unfortunately, it still is. But I underestimated, yes, the problem. It must be said that I had not studied for 6 years. So that's also a point. And I am also very slow in reading. And of course, there is pretty things to read. I tried different techniques. I tried, for example, studying every night after work 2 or 3 hours. And this was okay, but sometimes I was too tired to do it. Then I thought, well, why not waking up earlier and study before going to work? And that was also a good option. But then it was difficult to get up so early each morning. And now I'm doing a kind of a mixture in the sense that during the week, I'm doing the videos and the readings, and on weekend, for example, Saturday morning, or when I have time during the weekend, I dedicate myself to the exercises. And that's a pretty good option. But I think that everyone has to find out what's better for himself or herself, because yeah, everyone has different situations. Yeah.
I like that answer, Bruno. I think that's really good, and I really appreciate your transparency there, and just kind of, you tried things that didn't work at the beginning, and then you tried something else. And I think you're absolutely right. You've got to find your style of learning when it comes to a course where you're working full time and studying. You've got to find your kind of jive, really. You've got to find what works for you. So that was a great answer. I'm just going to ask you something about the workshops. Now, I know you attended them virtually. The International Fashion Marketing course offers opportunities to kind of experience and network throughout the degree program. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of the opportunities those workshops provided you? I know they were virtual, but that's the world we're living in at the moment. But it'd be great to hear from you if that's okay.
Yeah, that's a pity that we have to do it online, but it's still okay because they have not been cancelled. Then it's we had the opportunity to have them online, and the workshops are fantastic. I really appreciated them. During the workshops, you have the possibility to deal with interesting topics. And you have also the opportunity to meet other students that are studying with you and that come from other parts of the world. And so you can also meet new realities. And usually, well, as you said, workshops are held abroad, but we had still the possibility to do them online. And also, it's important, the workshops, because you can exchange points of view. You can also meet important people from the world of fashion, because there are also sometimes people speaking in the workshops, and then you can get in touch with them. You can also contact them after workshop, and I think it's really important also, because you can also do public relation, and that's important also for what comes next after the degree.
That's great. Thank you so much, Bruno, for that. So my next question is for both you and for Amy here, which is, I know, Bruno, at the start when you introduced yourself, you say you're working in a marketing team currently not based in the fashion industry, but as this course covers areas of marketing, are there any examples of things that you've learned during your studies that you've been able to apply to your current job?
Okay, so yes, I work in a bank in the marketing team, but I'm not part of the marketing team itself. So I deal with credit card retention of our best clients and cash loan, and sometimes I collaborate with the marketing team when there are some new projects to launch. Then we collaborate together. Well, it changes my point of view and how I see the world. Because, for example, I analyze all advertisements more critically, and also the display of the merchandise in the stores and things like this. But aside my job, I also do something else. I'm working with my mom, and we are trying to start a small business. We are trying to import a Brazilian denim brand here in Switzerland. And well, everything I'm studying, all the contents are really helpful in this small business of mine that we are trying to launch. And if everything works, we will open an e-commerce. And yeah, that's really interesting and really helpful, because I can apply what I'm learning in this new project that I have with my mother.
That's really fantastic and really interesting to hear that, and good luck with launching this as well, Bruno. It sounds like it's a fantastic opportunity for you. I've got the same question for you, Amy. Thinking back to when you were studying, is there anything that stands out that you learned during your studies that you apply to your work?
Okay, I think the degree I got in Manchester helps me a lot in my career path, because actually I start my career as a PR in a very famous luxury company, Lancashire. I think I'm good at that time, but I'm not so like it, because I want to do more things about buying and about how to plan a whole collection for sale. So that is why I think I need to got the degree about the fashion industry. Then I went to Manchester. Later, I got a job in CNA China. CNA is a fast fashion brand, and all over the Europe, you can find a lot of stores of CNA. And I start my work in CNA as a junior buyer and working for the denim department. As we all know, the denim fabric is quite special, but the business scale is big in China. So maybe my fabric study course helps me a lot, and then got me a very good reputation among my peers. Then maybe that is the reason why I got the job later on the internet fashion companies, because the mass market is quite big in China, and maybe the online business becomes booming in China a lot, and denim is also a very good point. Then I got a very good salary and a good company in China to continue my career on this buying field, just from offline to online. That is also a big challenge for me, but I think it's very interesting. And all my course and structure about the fabric supports me to learn more and to put out what I learned in my real work.
That's absolutely brilliant, and it's really fascinating to hear how it's sort of had that impact throughout your career as well. So my next question, I'm just going to change the topic just slightly, and thinking specifically about your studies. So with this program, it's based at our Shanghai Centre, but is a degree from the University of Manchester, which means that the teaching is in English, and we welcome people from across the world who are studying this course. So my question to both of you is, do you have any advice for somebody who's going to be learning in their second language? Any tips that you could give them? If we start with Amy this time, please.
Okay, maybe for me, my own experience is that reading is quite a key to learning a second language. Although I learned English for years in China in the primary school and in the university, but I also think the learning pressure becomes bigger when you real in the course of the fashion study in a foreign country. But my way at that time is to reading every day. I remember I almost read all the books about the fashion field in the Manchester Library. And for everyone now, maybe you can read a lot of books online because access to the online library resources become more big for nowadays. So you can get a lot of the books online of English in English. So maybe I think this is very important to learn something. And for me, it's reading.
That's absolutely brilliant. And actually, just to kind of add on that point, there are a lot of resources online, and that does include books in Manchester's library. So the students who are studying this course with the online blended learning will have access to all of the online library resources at the University of Manchester too. So you will have access to a wide range of books to read around your subject as well as a student of this programme. So Bruno, I've got the same question for you. What tips and advice would you give to someone for learning in their second language?
Yeah, I have to admit that I was a bit afraid of it because, well, English is not my mother tongue. Yes, I've learned it, but yeah, it's difficult because then it's a master and the degree is higher. And I was afraid, but I think that it's okay, it's possible. I prepare myself, for example, reading as well. I've read newspapers and also books in the fashion field, so that I could get involved in the main topic, marketing and fashion. I've read some books and some papers. And also I try to watch films in English. And that's also a good choice to prepare yourself. And yeah, but really it's not that difficult. It's possible, and I'm having not that trouble with the language. So you can do it.
Thanks, Bruno and Amy. I mean, I don't speak a second language and I would love to. So maybe I'll take your advice, watching some films in Spanish or French or whatever it may be. So thank you both for that. Now, there's a number of people, and there will be a number of people who are watching this, who are potentially in the early stages of making a decision about postgraduate study and whether it's the kind of right next step for them. I guess my question to you both is, when you were kind of deciding on your course of interest and the institution delivering that course, which factors influenced you most, and was there kind of one major influencer that helped you make that decision? Bruno, I'll come to you first, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah. Well, as we already mentioned, it's really important the reputation and the reliability of the university you choose. And again, also the fact that, well, for myself, due to my situation, because I wanted to go on working, also the fact that the course is all, available online. And I found it difficult to find a course with this topic, these contents online. It was really difficult, and I'm really happy to have found it. And also the fact that the University of Manchester is a foreign university. And then on my CV, I thought it was also interesting and really helpful to have a degree from a university that is abroad. And also the possibility of doing workshops. Again, because, well, abroad, but now, as we already told, it's not possible to travel, and we have the workshops online. But I think that's also an important point, because of public relation, because you can exchange points of view and minds concerning important topics and actual topics that we are living right now.
Thank you, Bruno. And I think you're absolutely right. Having kind of a stamp from the University of Manchester on your profile will kind of make you stand out a little bit more when it comes to applying for future careers or going on to future endeavours, whatever it may be. It really does kind of put you at the top of the pile when it comes to kind of recruitment going forward in your career and kind of professional development. So really good point there. Amy, I guess same question for you. So what factors influenced you the most when you decided kind of the course, so international fashion retailing and the University of Manchester?
Okay, I think the major reason, to be honest, for me at that time is the reputation as well. Because in China, the University of Manchester has a very great reputation and fame in this talent market, and there is a lot of people work in the higher levels in engineering field or financial field. So that is very important. You have a circle and you have the chance to step into the inner ring of them and get a lot of the connection in the society. Maybe once a day you want to jump into another field which maybe has a connection with fashion, but not so fashion. So maybe you have the chance to get to know someone also from the University of Manchester. They will very warmly help you. That is one good advantage point. And for me, when I was studying the University of Manchester, I found that all the teachers, all the profession, they have very professional background, and they have a long years of study. What is really the fashion strategy is, what is really the supply and demand chain is. That helps me a lot, because I think when you into some institution which is not so professional, and they will invite someone who is just work for some fashion companies, and they will teach the course as well. But I think their academic background is not so good. They can just to teach some recent experience, but this is not consistent and lasting. Which we need to learn is the theory, is the fundamentation about the fashion industry itself. That helps me a lot.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Amy. So I've got one last question from me. And for anybody who's watching live at the moment, if you do have any questions for Bruno or Amy that you want to ask, then you can submit these to us. So please do, if there is something you want to ask. But the last question that I have from me, and I'm going to start with Amy for this one, is what would you say to somebody who's considering studying this course?
Okay. Actually, I hope if you choose the University of Manchester, you will find no matter on the real campus or online, it will be a very happy period in your life to learn this knowledge about fashion industry, because the fashion industry is fantastic. Then you will have the, if you have the very firm goal about yourself in this fashion industry, you will find what you learned in international fashion marketing or international fashion retailing. You will have a very comprehensive theory structure and background knowledge in this field that helps you a lot, and that build up your confidence to walk into the industry, or you can have the further career go in this industry as well. So I hope everyone can enjoy it and learn a lot from this course.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Amy. And Bruno, the same question to you. So what would you say to somebody who's considering studying this course?
Well, you need to be motivated and willing to do also sacrifices, especially if you work. And if you have a clear goal in this field, this is the right place to be. And the professors, as also my colleague has mentioned, the professors are all are really competent, professional, and they also willing to help you if you need. And the course contents are interesting and also in step with the time, because you have really actually contents that you are living right now, also due to COVID and everything. And we also speak about these contents and these topics. And then also the fact that the university collaborates with CIM. And I really happy with this, because I think I will access a course at CIM after this degree. And I know that you have the possibility, due to this, thanks to this collaboration, to have an easy access to their courses.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much to Amy and to Bruno for answering those questions. And that's a really great point that you raised there, Bruno. And just to highlight to anyone listening, if you didn't know already, that this programme is accredited by the Chartered Institute for Marketers, which is a really great feature for this course. It's a recognised institute, and if you're looking for a career in marketing, it's something that's highly sought after by employers as well. So that's the end of the questions that we've been submitted for today. So I just want to round off this webinar by saying thank you to everyone for watching, whether you've been watching live today during the session, or if you're watching this on YouTube or through another streaming service. And we hope that you found the information that Amy and Bruno have provided today about their experience at Manchester helpful to you. And thank you also for Amy and Bruno for taking the time out of your days today to take part in this webinar. If you do have any more questions about this course and would like to get in touch, you can send us an email at studyonline@manchester.ac.uk. But that's it for today. So thank you very much to everyone who's attended and who's watched back.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.